Hey, it's Titan Tuesday, and right on time, we got some really big Titan news for Season 4. We got looks at all three villains' costumes. Not only looks at the costumes, but even the design documents. So let's take a couple minutes, look at these villainous duds, and dive in a little bit to the really intricate details provided in these documents. Well, many of us are super duper ready for Season 4 of Titans, and I for one are looking forward to the spread of villains we're getting this year. A few weeks ago, we got our first look at Lex Luthor in the upcoming season, but we all know a big part of Season 4 is going to be the Church of Blood. Now, we've known for a long time that Brother Blood, Mother Mayhem, and Jinx will all be part of this season, but now we've got to look at each costume, and I have to say, all three of them look great. So let's start off with Jinx, who's being played by Lisa Mbalavanar. Now, Jinx has had a couple of looks going back through various DC franchises, and I have to say, I think they're combining them here rather interestingly. The costume itself looks pretty darn good. I like the look, and I do like how they've mixed the classic comic look, which we'll talk about in a second, with the Teen Titans animated series version of the character. That's where that purple hair comes from. Now, all in all, this costume does look great, and it is something you kind of expect from Titans, but honestly, this one really kind of went above and beyond. Now, when we look at the design documents, we get a couple of more details. The first design document kind of shows a look for the character closer to the classic comic book version for Jinx. In the comics, she's often portrayed with no hair, and that's exactly how this concept art came together. Now, the other two documents give us a closer look at portions of her costume that aren't quite as easy to see. The first one shows pieces of her boot and sleeve, giving us a little more detail on the engraving on each part of the costume there, and I have to say I do like what I see. The last piece gives us a much closer look to the midsection, as well as the various green gems that are attached to the costume. I do appreciate both of these, and they do look pretty nice. I have to say it does round out the costume perfectly, and manifested nicely in the physical costume itself. Now, the second look we got was at Mother Mayhem, who's going to be played by Franca Patini. Now, we have a couple of looks at her. First, here's the actual design docs featuring the front and the back of the costume. All in all, it does look pretty good, and I do like the look. It's very similar to the comics, and she really does appear to be embodying Mother Mayhem rather nicely. Now, as the character comes together in live action, I actually think it gets a little bit better. We have this first shot of her standing here, seemingly preaching inside the Church of Blood. You can see the torches in the background, and this does look like exactly the character we know from the comics. Now, the last image appears to feature her in action. You see her with her staff and giving somebody a rather nasty look. I am totally excited about what they're doing with this character, and I do have to say, the costume is simple, but minus that character's over-the-top headpiece in the comics, that's exactly how it looks, and I really, really like it. Now, that brings us to Joseph Morgan's Brother Blood. Now, unfortunately, we only got two pictures for Brother Blood, but both of them look pretty cool. First, here's the design document, which I really do like. And then here is the actual costume on Joseph Morgan. Now, I have to say, I really do like this costume. I like the leathery look and the hood. I did want more of the skull feature that has the mouth from the comics going around his head, but this version really does work, and I'm going to have to see it in action to probably finally judge. I also like the kind of maul teeth going around his waist, and the color scheme is really pretty darn good. Now, I do expect to see all three of these characters in a trailer that we're hopefully going to get at New York City Comic Con. Titans will be a big part of New York City Comic Con. There's multiple cast members showing up, and not only do I expect this trailer, but I expect some confirmation on that rumored November release date we're all expecting. Now, I have no complaints about any of these costumes. Quite honestly, costumes are not something I think Titans has struggled with. Pretty much every time they've adapted a comic book costume, they've done a great job, and these are no exceptions. Now, how the characters manifest on screen and how this season goes, we're going to have to wait and see. I know sometimes fans are a little mixed on Titans. I'm a fan, but people do have some legitimate issues, and I'm really hoping they're ironed out this year, because I don't want Season 4 to be the last time we get this show. Obviously, we're covering everything Titans on this channel, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you get all of the Titanic update. But until we know more, what do you guys think? What do you think of these three costumes for the upcoming season of Titans? And do you have a favorite? I have to say, I think Jinx looks great. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like. click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.